Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, imagine the NFL landscape as a chessboard, and right now, one of the biggest pieces in play could be a game changer for the Washington Commanders. We're talking about none other than Micah Parsons, the Dallas Cowboys' star linebacker, who, rumor has it, might be heading to the NFC East's newest power player. Yes, I know it sounds almost too good to be true, but let's unpack this potential blockbuster trade and what it could mean for the Commanders. Micah Parsons, if you've been paying attention, is considered one of the most disruptive, game-wrecking defenders in the entire league. He's young, explosive, and has already established himself as a premier pass rusher. His ability to pressure quarterbacks and disrupt defenses is elite, and that's exactly what the Commanders have been looking for since they retooled their defense under Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio. So, what's the story here? Well, Parsons is approaching the last year of his rookie contract with Dallas, and that's always a critical period for NFL teams and players. The Cowboys, of course, want to lock him up long-term. They've already held his fifth-year option, which is standard for a player of his caliber. But negotiations for a lucrative extension seem to be dragging, and with the NFL's salary cap always looming in the background, the Cowboys might need to make some tough decisions. The idea of trading Parsons isn't new. It's been floated around for a while, especially considering the possibility that the team might want to avoid losing him for nothing in free agency. And here's where things get interesting for the Commanders. You see, the Washington Commanders, under the guidance of head coach Ron Rivera, are actively seeking to bolster their pass rush. They've already made moves in free agency, but they're still hungry for a game-changing edge rusher. The loss of Dante Fowler Jr. in free agency left a void, and while drafting a top-tier pass rusher is always an option, the Commanders are looking for proven talent, someone who can step in immediately and make an impact. The possibility of acquiring Parsons through a trade is not just a pipe dream. It's a strategic move that could give Washington an instant boost on defense. Now, let's think about the logistics for a moment. Parsons is on his final guaranteed year of his rookie deal, and Dallas might be hesitant to extend him or might consider trading him to get some cap relief and future flexibility. The Cowboys have publicly expressed their desire to keep him for life, but if negotiations stall, a trade might become the best option for both sides. And here's the kicker: if Washington is willing to sacrifice a first-round pick, say the 29th overall, they could land a player of Parsons' caliber. That kind of talent doesn't come around often, especially a player who can dominate from the linebacker position the way Parsons does. It's a high-risk, high-reward move, but for a team that's been looking to take a giant leap forward defensively, it could be worth it. Just imagine Parsons lining up alongside the other talented defenders in DC, creating chaos in the backfield and forcing quarterbacks into uncomfortable throws. His presence would instantly elevate the entire defense, and with a coach like Ron Rivera, who appreciates a good defensive star, Parsons could thrive even more. But let's talk about the bigger picture here. Dallas, as a franchise, is known for its cautious approach to contracts, but they also want to keep their stars. They've shown willingness to apply the franchise tag, which could be a temporary solution while negotiating a record-breaking deal, possibly around $30 million a year. That kind of salary would make Parsons one of the highest-paid linebackers in NFL history. The question is, will Parsons want to stay in Dallas long-term, or could the allure of a different team, especially one with a defense that's ready to contend, sway him? If the Cowboys hesitate or drag their feet, and if Washington makes a compelling offer, the stage could be set for a blockbuster intra-division trade. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking: trading within the NFC East is rare, almost unheard of, because division rivals usually prefer to keep their stars away from each other. But history has shown that in the NFL, when the stakes are high and the needs align perfectly, deals can happen. And for Washington, this is a unique opportunity. They've been building this roster with an eye toward making a serious playoff run, and adding a disruptive force like Parsons could transform their defense from good to elite. It's not just about one player, either. It's about the message it sends to the rest of the league. Washington is serious about competing and winning now. Think about the impact on the NFC East as a whole. If the Commanders pull off a trade for Parsons, it shifts the balance of power significantly. The Eagles have been dominant in recent years, but adding Parsons would give Washington a defensive weapon capable of challenging Jalen Hurts and the Eagles' high-power defense. It would also send a clear message to the Giants and the rest of the division that the Commanders are all in, ready to fight for supremacy. The NFC East has always been a fierce division, full of rivalries, passion, and sometimes surprises. This move could be the spark that ignites a new chapter for Washington, one where they're no longer just trying to compete but trying to dominate. From Parsons' perspective, the opportunity to join Washington might appeal for several reasons. First, under Ron Rivera, and with the coaching staff, he'd be in a system designed to maximize his talents. Second, the mentorship and leadership of a seasoned coach like Rivera could help him take his game to even higher levels. And third, the chance to leave Dallas, arguably one of the most talked about teams in the league, and join a team hungry for success might be a tempting proposition. It's also worth mentioning that Parsons has spoken fondly of Jack Del Rio, Washington's defensive coordinator, and the system they run. That familiarity and mutual respect could play a crucial role if this hypothetical trade were to materialize. Now, let's not forget that this kind of move isn't just about one player. It's about the entire team's identity and future. Washington's front office has been strategic, trying to balance cap space, draft capital, and immediate impact players. If they decide to go all in on Parsons, it's a clear statement. They're committed to winning now. This could also influence other teams in the division, prompting them to make bold moves of their own, escalating the rivalry to new heights. The NFC East has always been known for its unpredictability, and this potential trade could be the catalyst for an electrifying season that fans will remember for years. And what about Parsons himself? Well, he's young, incredibly talented, and clearly driven. His comments about Coach Quinn, describing him as my guy and like a big uncle, reveal a lot about his respect for the coaching staff and the environment he thrives in. If Washington's system and coaching staff continue to develop, and if he sees a clear path to success, he might be tempted to make a move. Especially if the Cowboys' front office signals that they're willing to part ways, whether for cap reasons or strategic rebuilds, the door could be open for this blockbuster transfer. So in summary, folks, we're looking at a scenario that could shake up the entire league, especially the NFC East. A trade for Micah Parsons, if it happens, would be a seismic shift. It would give Washington a premier pass rusher, bolster an already talented defense, and send shockwaves through the division. For Dallas, it might be a tough pill to swallow, losing one of their brightest stars, but it could also be a strategic move to reset their cap and plan for the future. Either way, it's a story worth watching, and I'll be here to keep you updated every step of the way. The NFL never ceases to surprise us, and this potential blockbuster could become one of the biggest stories of the offseason. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe the rumors are true? Would you be excited to see Parsons in the burgundy and gold? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, more news, and more deep dives into everything happening with the Washington Commanders. So stay tuned, keep supporting your team, and let's keep this passion alive. Thanks for watching and see you next time.